Ian Moore, absolute legend of Aberavon RFC. Thank you for jumping on. 379 games for the club, 12 tries, Aberavon legend, Barbarian. How did it all get started for you, mate?
Start off, I'm sure it was more than 12 tries, mate. I should trigger pinch the flew off me.
Absolutely.
I don't know. I had Chris Carrigan phone me. I was about 19, I think, 18, 19. I had a phone call of Chris. I was just leaving Neath, just getting bombed out of Neath Professional, and asked me to go down, basically. And I think I went down there January time, something like that, halfway through the season.
But even before that, I know you spent your days in Neath College. I know you were part of quite a big team there, weren't you, as well?
We had a very good side in the college, fair play. It was when most stuff did entered, fair play. The British Cup, the Welsh Cup, they had a very good side there, and a lot of boys went on a lot higher as well.
Yeah. But what you were, so obviously this is leading me in somewhere. You were back row then, weren't you?
Yeah.
So back row, you came to Aberavon, as you said, through the Chris Carolan days. And then did he pick you as a back rower then himself, or?
Yeah, it was a number 8 then. Yeah, I picked the number 8. And then I wasn't big enough. I was too small and too light then, basically. And I was always on the bench. I was involved most weeks. I was on the bench, having 10, 15 minutes and stuff. But I was just fed up with it. That was the same as the Neath. When it was in Neath, I was just training all the time. Never had a game at the end of it. So I just got fed up. I just wanted to play. So I think I don't know, perhaps a season. And then I spoke to Chris that I wasn't really enjoying it that much, and I wanted to go back and just play regular rugby. So he fair play to him. He was great to me, Chris was, and he agreed, and he said that I did need to bulk up and I needed to learn a few more tricks of the trade sort of thing. And I went back to Carmarthen then for a few years.
When the Chris Carolan days, what was that like, and what did? Yeah, well, yeah. So we'll just answer that really. But what were those days like for you early as a early rugby player? First experience in rugby, I guess.
They were brutal sessions. Monday night sessions were absolutely brutal. I'm saying I was about 13 stone, perhaps 14 at the most. Yeah. And it was a very forward-oriented coach, and they were a brutal pack. And my sort of mindset would always be was like get stuck in and just hopefully learn a bit of respect that way. But when you're trying to tackle like so George in his prime, from Tamo, Footy, Davo, Wynn, Merv, people like that, they were big boys. Like Andrew Thomas, a flanker, they were just absolutely brutal. Absolute brutal sessions.
So when you went over to when Kingy came, then that was a quick transition for you to go straight into the boiler house. Was it straight away, or?
Yeah, it took me up to Neath. I was out one game short, and I never come back out. Then I think you might have given me.
You played in the back row in the first game, was it, or not? Against Leslie?
What's that, Kingy's first game?
Yeah, so your first game under Kingy.
Oh, I can't remember, mate. I know. I think I might have had a couple of games in the back row. Okay. Was it his first season? The first season you come?
Yes, yeah. So we played.
I went at long end because it was you trigger, and you started flankers, when George was at 8, I assume.
George would be the 8. I remember you playing 6 at some point.
I might have had one game and like chucked up or something, and I never come out and all that. I think he gave me one game in years after up in Glamorgan Wanderers on a Thursday or Friday night. I think something stupid like that, and just to shut me up, he put me in at 8. I played about 5 minutes. The second row went off, and I was straight back.
Kingy elected you captain. What did that mean to you? To be captain. I guess you didn't know what was to come for you. How long you'd be captain and stuff. So what did that mean for you there and then? If you can reflect back.
When he called me in and met up with him and stuff, and he asked me to be captain, and a bit surprised me. I think I'd done it 1 or 2 games the season before, just when someone was out. I can't remember who was captain. I think it might have been Gitz was there. I'm not sure, or Davs maybe. And I'd done a couple of games, but I didn't think I was a great captain. I'm not a very good talker, as you know, I struggle and stuff like that. I thought like before the game, I always messed about. Maybe I was never serious. I was always in my own little corner with myself trigger and stuff like Lloydie, like messing around. Stop myself in that round, really. And I always found it easy to, when it's time to go out, switch on. Just before they're going to kick off, I could just switch on and crack on. And so from turning that, I found it quite hard really to become captain, and I wasn't really sure how I was going to go. But I thought it was a chance that I couldn't turn down really, to stay captain in your hometown. It was a chance I couldn't really turn down.
Yeah, I mean, I could totally. When I first came to the club, so that's my first year when you were captains. I didn't really know anybody, and seeing how you boys were, sorry, so go back to what you said there, and you said that you weren't a very good captain. You're the best captain that I've ever had, and that goes through all my age grade, but everybody says that as well. So I don't think, and that just proves, I guess, really that you don't have to be the talker. I think people respect what you or captains like you thought they did on the field, and that is obviously a testament to what you were about, really. Because I was the same, as you just said. I was messing about until kick off, you cross the line, and you can just get straight back into it. But those games that you played in, and you were just, what was it that made you, that you were able just to flick that switch, and just go from, I shouldn't say this, but not caring, but being so not laid back, and to Ian more the grafter like on the pitch.
I love playing. I loved the game. I absolutely loved every game I played. I thought it was brilliant fun, and I couldn't never work out people who were nervous and see some boys being sick. Remember Paul Breeze, like from a Thursday night when I was playing for Carmarthen, like wouldn't, like totally different person, just like starting psyched up. And for me, it was never like that. It was always fun and nothing to worry about. I never really looked into opposition, didn't care who I was playing against, and I didn't mean that in a disrespectful way. Just a game of rugby and just get out and have fun. But when it was time to play, I wanted to be the best I could be. And I was drummed into me by my grandpa, and it's like that you put out, if you want to feel, and you do anything, you give it your best, and you never give up, even if you get stuffed. You never give up. And his mantle sort of thing was me. Like, Mo's never give up, and I even pass it on to my boys now. We're 8 and 5. I still tell them now, like, sort of thing, never give up.
You certainly, you certainly had that attitude on the pitch. But again, going back to the talking bit, you did a lot of talking on the field as well. So in between, breakdowns in plays, whilst there's a rest or injury or whatever, you did a lot of talking. And even I'd look at you sometimes, and you were knackered. You're on your feet because you work so hard in the game, but you were still able to get the words out. I remember you kneeling down, squatting down, and shouting out the orders and stuff like that. So you had that. I thought it was quality. So I know what I'm trying to get at. You're a modest guy, I guess, and I know you hate this type of stuff. So you'd be finding it difficult for me telling you that. But I thought you were an incredible captain. But then 3 years later, obviously the captaincy got taken off you. Obviously by myself. But we can have these conversations now. What did that feel like to you? Because I got asked, and I don't know why I got asked. I jumped at the opportunity to have it, of course, but it to me at the time it genuinely felt wrong, because you were always my captain. So, what did that feel like for you at the time?
For what? Like, I had the same sort of phone call of Key come down, meet up. I just thought we'd talk about the next season and how we're gonna plan again, winning. And Kingy being Kingy, just brutally honest, but you're not captain next year. Okay, right. Just don't think you're right for it at a minute, sort of thing. And accepted it, walked out. I remember phoning Rheon straight away when I was in the car to congratulate you. If I'm totally honest, still weren't really happy with it. Yeah. But when I come home and over the next day or two, I started thinking about it and stuff, and it was bang on the right choice. I found it hard that season before. You struggled with me, I believe, in that last year, and I found that you were just saying the same sort of things all the time, and it just needed a fresh voice. But it also gave me, I don't know if I got a bit complacent because I was captain, but it gave me a kick up the arse sort of thing as well. To right then, in a mad way, like, I'll show you, I'm going to train hard and like sort of earn my way back, not being captain, but there is a bit of a negative thing, so I was going to turn it into a positive thing. And again, it was definitely the best, definitely the right choice, 100%. It took a weight off my shoulders when we thought about it, and I just happy to play again and mess about again and be a little pain in the ass again, like with the boys and stuff.
I remember then I wasn't captain for as long as you. It got taken away from me as well, and I remember again. I rang you, and I think I remember coming up to your house. We had a cup of tea, etc. Talked over it. You know, I was gutted that it was being taken away from me. But the club soon then went back to you. Obviously, I think there was an interim period with Sam and Clatts, but it ended back up with you again. Again, for me, right choice, 100%. But what was it like second time around then? You know, for you as a captain of the club.
I think I was older then. First off, I thought it was. I know I had come in and he took it off Clatts sort of thing, and I had it back on. I found that hard to start with because it felt like disrespecting Clatts sort of thing in a way, and I didn't like that. But it started off Clatts was injured, and I sort of like helped out that way, and then it sort of stayed with me. But Clatts was good as gold. He was great. Whenever we had a chat about it, and he was great about it. I'm not sure how his feelings were deep down, sort of thing, but just got on with it then, sort of thing. I was a bit older. Still didn't like the talking before game, but you had so many other people there to talk. I mean, like yourselves, yourself, Pritch would chirp up now and again with something. Jamie, and if I'm honest with you, Jamie made my life so easy as well. I used to tell everyone this. I just went up the coin and lost it, and Jamie would do everything else really. So I didn't really find it. As soon as you got on the field, I didn't find it that hard being captain. It was just didn't mind talking in between injuries or downtime. It was still before the game. That's the part I found hard. The bit in the change rooms before going out on the field.
When I think the Neath Aberavon games, you know, for you, you know, what were they the highlights kind of your rugby at Aberavon? Because I certainly saw people in a different light in those type of games, especially the early doors when I was there, you know, in the early late 2000s. You know, what were they like for you as a player?
I loved it. I loved it. For Friday, I loved the Boxing Day game. Loved Easter Sunday or Monday, whatever it was. I think it was a bit of it was going back to I didn't really make it. Well, I didn't make it when I was at Neath as a kid, and perhaps it was always that bit of you bugger sort of thing. Like I always wanted to prove that bit more against them. But we took some proper hunting as well in the early parts. They were a hell of a side then.
Yeah.
They had some real good players there, and God, I remember one game they put 80 points on us, and they were like tough days.
Yeah.
But, you know, but it did sort of turn around then, coming to the end. We were getting more wins against Neath than they were getting against us, and but I love the Boxing Day, and probably now still to this day, the game I think of my games was the Boxing Day game in our last season when we beat them 50 points.
Yes.
I absolutely love that game. You know, this. But
incredible.
Yeah.
Like, again, I don't want to embarrass you, but the type of person you were, the way that you played, but also the work that you did as well in your day job. And I've seen that firsthand. Obviously, I've been in the works with you stuff. You took me up a couple of times. We'll go into that. And I remember there's a good story about it, which with James King. But you know, you would come off. I still don't understand it, you know. And I just want to tap into your mindset. You'd work a night shift, 12 hours, like proper graft in mind. You'd be black in soot still, away games as well, sitting on the bus. And then you go out and still churn out the same performance that you do, whether you're on a four day off shift. I genuinely still don't understand it. I just wondering maybe it goes back to what you said about the hard work and stuff. I don't know, but
just love playing there. So I think of I know people who don't play now in between the shifts and stuff since they've finished playing and they don't play, which is I can totally understand it. It's not exactly weren't the most enjoyable games, but for that 80 minutes, I loved it or whatever long I was on it for before getting pulled off when it was nice. But I also think you had a bit of a bit of loyalty, a bit of you know, you can't just tell the boys, I don't fancy it today. Personally, because I was nights last night, and you can't moan in. Everyone's got their own different situations and stuff, and you just got to. I'm not the only person in the world who's ever worked a night shift before a game, and I mean, it's
yeah.
Boys do it because you love it, and I think you've got a responsibility for the team and for the club.
Yeah.
The players just suck it up, really, and get on with it. And the nicest beer ever was on a Sunday afternoon, then when after you finish.
No, I bet, yeah. I mean, somebody who knows you, those answers that you're giving, sums you up. That's how you thought about it. It was so easy in your head, and that's exactly what you did. In comparison to how some players are these days, it's worlds apart, and I guess I miss those type of players like yourself anyway. But a funny one then. So my first away game with you, my first season was Swansea away. You scored a try. And then the next try that I remember you scoring was that try against Carmarthen Quins. So again, it is though. I mean, you couldn't write the story really. How we were facing relegation. That was a dark year. That was. We were chasing that 1 point, weren't we? And it came at that right time. Do you want to maybe share that, reflect a little bit on not just that scoring the try, of course, that'd be quite easy, but that period.
It was tough, wasn't it? It was crazy. The crazy thing for me was we'd done so well the season. Was it the season before we'd done so well? But I think we were in the top 3 of the playoffs, and the cup final the year before that.
That's right. Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, I don't know, something just didn't click there that season. You can't blame King because nothing really changed. So I always remember King on the first meeting I had with him telling me that 5 years, I'd be up for 5 years and I'd be gone. He said that's long enough for any coach. And I think that was maybe his 7th season, was it?
It was a 7th.
Yeah, so I don't know if I can understand like we were doing well. I don't know, is it just that natural time scale of a coach being too long and it was sort of like the same thing being said or similar things being said, and I don't mean I had nothing wrong as King because I love King. I thought he was a brilliant bloke and a coach. But I don't know, we just didn't click that year, and then it was a tough old season there. And then we went to Swansea. I think we were overconfident over there, and he actually pulled our pants down on a Wednesday night, didn't he? And we were all down on that Quins game. And to stay up that day was hell of swear we won the league when we stayed up. But I honestly thought before that game we were never going to not stay up that day. I've never seen the boys so focused and so, I don't know, was the tempo and everything was so switched on that day. It was an amazing feeling to be part of.
Yeah, I think we scored. Well, you scored the 4th try, didn't you? Was it just after half time or?
Yeah, just after half time. I think a couple of minutes after half time.
Yeah. So again, I might know your answer, but how did that feel scoring that try, the 4th try, the one that we needed? How did it feel for you though, being again at the club for so long, etc.?
It was amazing, and you see like George running on and stuff like that. It was like you weren't playing anymore then, and he's running on and emotion on the crowd and stuff like that. It's crazy to show how much we meant to the supporters and the club meant to the supporters. It's a crazy feeling then. For me, I felt deflated after that. It's like all our hype been up over the last, I don't know, 6-7 weeks of we got to stay up. And after we'd done it, I remember coming back and I think Jamie was injured, so I think Nick was kicking. I think Nick played that day. Me and the kit.
Yeah, Nick, you did.
And I remember he went for the kit, and I come back and I just felt, just like all my energy's gone. We've done it. We saved. Didn't really care about the game, man. And that's just not me. I didn't care what happened.
I don't even mean
big weight lifted off the shoulders, and if I wanted to, I just wanted to come off then. And I couldn't care anymore. Yeah. And if I was, I must have been rubbish after because I was pulled a couple of minutes after. But it was a crazy situation.
Yeah, it's mad. And again, moving on from those years, then, and we'll come towards it. Obviously, the end of your career, where we got to the cup final. I mean, that year was amazing in terms of the rugby we were playing. But at what point did you, in your head, decide I'm done, or that's enough, or it's next year, or how was that all looking for you, retirement wise?
I always said I would play as long as I could, and so we played Merthyr at home in the October, I think it was.
Yeah.
And it was absolutely brutal game. I think we just scraped the win, I think. But on a Wednesday, after it, I think Ocean and Johan, like Johan was only a baby, and Ocean wanted to like wrestle or something, and I still couldn't physically like play with him tidy. It was in that much pain after it, and I didn't. It's not right. Like I can't do this. It's just crazy. So I phoned Andrew, met up with Andrew, told him, look, I'm done. I see the season out, but I'm done. And again, it was like a weight off my shoulders as well. Like, he was like, yeah, I told Ellie, he was like, oh, no, you're not ready, yeah? I'm like, Ellie, I'm done. I'm absolutely done. And it was a right call. I was gone by end. I mean, I wouldn't physically couldn't do it anymore. Like, I was only playing 40 odd minutes. If I'm honest, I think for me personally at the time, like still Andy was getting picked, but I thought Ben Jones was offering more than myself at the time, and I thought he was asking him not having more starts than he did. I don't know. I think I could have in my head handled that not starting it, but just knew it was the right call. Body just physically couldn't do it. Mentally couldn't do it anymore either.
But I'll come back to this now. But as you said though earlier, was the type of character you were. You just got on with it. So I know how many injuries you were carrying. Well, I wouldn't say injuries, niggles. You know, niggles. How sore you were, but you just got you carry on, don't you? And the attitude that you have, and some other people around your age have, is just incredible. The way, because I know now, aren't you going around your body for putting things right?
I'm mostly done now, but yeah, I'm sure. We were talking about the other day, and I spoke to Lloydie this morning. Lloydie's in bits. I see triggers in bits. It's just crazy, man. It's no one tells you like when you're at 40 that everything bloody you set and proper. Like, and but again, I wouldn't change it for the world. I loved it. Absolutely loved every minute of it.
So go back, sorry. So October against Merthyr, I can't remember where we were in the league or whatever. Did you even envisage that we'd make that type of cup final then that year? Or
we had a hell of a team, man. Didn't we? And obviously yourself, JTR, Steph, JP, Will, the boys were on fire. Garland, the boys were on fire. And I think we had a great side there. And if I'm honest, I was just like clinging on, and then we're doing much. The boys were outstanding, and the tries we scored of Jay on a shoulder ball at times, off a short line out, and just Jay coming on a shoulder ball. But you find then you look back at how we were picked up. Like, I mean, that's so good. I won't say you're past Jay's line, and we ripped some teams apart that year, and it was brilliant. But we also had a physical guy up front who front out against some teams too. So it was a hell of a team to be part of.
And then cut 2, got to the final. Again, it's a while ago now, but can you try and recollect how you feeling? One being in the final, 2 knowing that it's time up for you. I don't know. I guess it's a difficult one, isn't it, to try and get back to that time? But
it was fine. I was fine all the way through it. I knew it was the right decision. Brilliant that we got. How many games before they were saying it was my last game, and I think I got another 3 games out there or something because played off, and then we got in, and then we got in. I mean, so, but I was appreciative. I was happy days. It was the right decision. It was, obviously, would have loved to win it. To gone out, it would have been a fairy tale way to go out, isn't it? But
100%.
The way Merthyr kept that ball in the last 10 minutes, I don't think many teams could have done that. It was outstanding how they looked after that ball in that last 10 minutes, wasn't it?
Yeah, ridiculous.
And I was watching that from the side then, and we didn't have a chance of getting the ball off them, and they just looked after it so well. So it is what it is. How do you feel, Rich, man?
Oh, it's not, Ian, it's not about me. Well, no, I felt fine as well. I'm like you, I felt fine. I was just gutted that I kind of knew we were going to finish high in the playoffs, and I kind of knew we'd get to the final, because I decided around about the January time. And then I never thought we'd lose it. And I just thought, I'm going out like this. I'm going out with Buddha as league champions. That's what I thought. I was so confident in that. Obviously, it didn't happen, but yeah, I didn't feel much about it. As I said, like you, my body is in absolute bits. So there we are. It's not about me. Stop it. As much as I'd like it to be. Let's get stuck into your 15. You've played across the years, through all the 2000s there, nearly up into the 20s, 2020. So there's a lot of players that you would have come across over the years. Players come and go, etc. So it'd be interesting to find out your starting 15. So let's start at fullback and give us a bit of context around people you haven't chosen or people that you have chosen.
It was really hard. I remember like Trigger doing this, and you see the other people who have done it before on it, and you just think, pick the team easy. But then when you start really thinking about it, it's really tough to pick up your 5 or 15 because you made so many mates as well, and it's really tough to do. So 15, gone with 15. The people come close. When I first started, I was Ricky Price. So he was a great player, solid, typical Cardigan player, big lump, run hard, a bit too pretty for his own good really at the time. He was dodgy haircut and stuff, but he was just a solid player sort of thing. And then coming more recently, you've got JP. I rate JP so much. I think John Phillips, he's a great player. Only thing you could probably say about John is he a little bit too loose sometimes.
Yeah.
But if you stop that, you lose his player while you lose the good parts of him. So I think you've got to stack that up. But my full back I go for is Liam Gadd. His first couple of years down there when he was full back, before he put too much weight on, he was ripping it apart there. And personally, he could have gone a little bit higher, I think, if he didn't want to go in the centre and stuff. But again, he's still a good centre. But for me, I think Gaddy was a class player at full back.
Liam Gadd, okay. Happy days, full back. The two wings?
The two wings. He's got to be the goat, as he likes to call himself, Nick Carter. Yeah. He'll have to go in there. That's some brilliant times with Carter. We were down there together a long time. And my other one then was Paul Bamsey.
Oh, you come wing, you? Okay.
I went Paul. Known Paul since school together. We were definitely the same class right through school. I also think Bamsey was very underrated by a lot of people there. He had a hell of a left foot on him. Strong, dependable, nice step. Didn't let anyone down. So I've gone for Bamsey on the other wing. Nice. The boys looking out on him. It's really hard on like Steph and Jay. I was really close of, well, having Jay and then moving Bamsey to a different position and stuff. But I've changed it so many times that I've gone with Bamsey with that. When I first started, I got Darren Griffiths there, absolute player machine. The Abdul, when I had a couple of games with like, the really quick boys, but I found I'd gone with the boys who I played more with, you know.
You wouldn't have played much with Jay though, or Steph. I know you.
The last couple of years, maybe last 2 years, they were a breath of fresh air. Both of them, especially last season, they were outstanding. They were just ripping the league apart, didn't they?
Yeah. Happy days, back three: Gaddy, Thin Gaddy, and Carter, the goat. Okay, centres.
So again, and I've got a bit of a thing with this. Inside centre 12. I go for Scarf.
Okay, right, nice.
Love Scarf. Dependable. Run through brick wall for him. Yeah. Make his hits. Do think he's a bit better of a footballer than a lot of people think he is. I've got a bit of a pass on him when he went through, but just never really give it up off of me. Like saying, he'll run through a brick wall through, and I think it's a great target to help a forward with at times. To have someone like him there. Yeah. Di Hawkins is another one. Played a few games with Di down there. And they're very similar players, isn't it? But I just went Scarf just edged it for me on that. Yeah. On the 13, I've gone for Will.
Yeah.
Will Price. So underrated by the supporters down there. It's crazy. What a player.
I was having that conversation with. I can't remember. I was having the conversation with. He just never, as you said, it never appeared on the murdering man of the match. I still a running joke. He's like, oh. but you know, class week in week out, like as you know. Yeah.
Never seen him have a bad game. Really, he's just a solid 8 all the time, and he's just like makes his tackles, carries well, organises well. I don't know because he's quiet off the field or whatever, or the supporters see him as a quieter boy. I'm not sure. I think he's class. The other boys, I was tempted with Bamsey, putting him in the centre. I know Gardy would love to be put in the centre.
Yeah.
But Guinea Gardy's better than Chunky Gardy, in my eyes.
Wouldn't have Bamsey played more fullback though? I can't remember him in the centre.
He had a couple of games centre, but fullback, yeah, fullback. I think Bamsey wasn't he? Yeah. The other player was a player by Maddox when I first went down. Yeah, like an injury, but he was a very good player.
Barry Bandage.
Yeah, Barry Bandage. Yeah.
All right, 9 and 10.
9 and 10. The player who's probably I really rate, and he's been so unlucky with injuries, is Dan Davis. I love that. I don't put him in there, but I love Dan's attitude. God, he had so much pause for his size. The tackles he put in against some of the bigger boys, outstanding. I think if his shoulders didn't go all the time, I think he could have had a good run in the game in the team. When I first went at Dan Hawkins, great player. Talk a glass eye to sleep, so loud on the field. My first game captain, Dan told me down in Cross Keys it was, but it got called off. But he told me on the way down there saying, "But don't worry about today. Just toss a coin. I'll do everything else." and he was bang on serious. I was laughing at it. But the player got for his Pritch. I love playing with Pritch. He was so dangerous around the ruck. He kept back rows interested all the time. You couldn't fly on him. So my player there had to be Pritch. He was
He's still going all day.
Never done a pre-season of he. So
you're right. Yeah, you're right.
Loves a fake op in pre-season, didn't he? And
had a contract negotiation.
I thought it.
10. I'm sure there's no questions here, but
hot dog and Escort Jamie.
Yeah.
Absolute class for me. Class. How we didn't go here, I never know. Hell of a player. Highest point scorer, says it all, really, didn't it? But I think he was a lot more about him than just his kicking. I think he was a great footballer. So dogged in defence. Not many people were passing in defence. Just an all-round top player and top bloke as well. Garland done really well when he come back, especially that year we got in the final. But no impact on Jamie.
Pritch and Jamie, yeah. I thought you might have gone Hooper maybe at 9, but
Jamie now talking again.
Okay, to the pack. We'll start a loose head.
This is where I follow tough in the forwards. It's so hard. Now, loose head, you got Chalky, love Chalky, Rich, like great laugh, brilliant around club. You got Dinky, apart from being a miserable bastard, he's a hell of a player, isn't he? And if he's only a couple of inches higher, I'm sure one of his contracts would have been nailed on as a professional. But I think that goes against him. But top player, I think. The two would come down for me was Lloydie and Footy.
Yeah.
Lloydie was just an immense scrummager, and again, could have gone higher. He could have been a pro, but I think he was just so relaxed and laid back. I don't think he really care in the world. He hasn't got care in the world, and as long as he managed his scrum, he didn't really care about anything else.
Yeah.
Playing Llandudno one day, and the ball was up in the air, and I caught it. And he said to me, "How do I catch a ball up in the air?" I said, "I don't know. What do you do?" Never look up. I said, "What do you mean you don't look up?" "Well, if I don't look up, I can't catch it. It's not coming near me." And that's the gospel truth. Never look up when the ball's in there. I just follow the people who run towards it. But boy gone on, who said it's Footy. Top mate of mine. Michelle lifted him for years back and forth. Loved the beer. But he was a great player as well. He's good, solid scrummer. Done his work around the field as well. So my look said it'd be Footy.
Mike Harris, Footy. Okay, happy. Nice, good choice. Do you want to go tight head or hooker?
Where will we go, man? I go tight head then. Tight head is again, and if we go back to when I first came here, you had like Greg Dix, great player. Great player for Aberavon. You had absolute lunatic end of Tom, Mark Thomas. Crazy bloke, but he was brilliant to me in the club. He looked after me. He's great there. And then it come down to end for me. You got JJ, good friend of mine, but also seemed to pick up a lot of injuries and loved joining other clubs and having a run around and coming back and forth. So missed out. So it came down to Breezy and Tony Edwards for me. And if we depends where you're going to play in. If we're playing on a hard Connecty pitch, I would have gone with Tony. But for his skills, he's a great player. Chris Cruminger, he could play a bit, can he? But I'm going for Breezy as my tight end. When he was captain of Carmarthen, he was probably the best captain I played under. The way he spoke and stuff like that was outstanding. When I don't know, because we were kids, but he used to get us so fired up before a game down there. He had that angry side about him. He'd kick anything for the days. And he's a Carmarthen boy as well, so Breezy will pinch it at tight end for me.
Happy days. And then the glue in the middle of the two.
Again, we got when I was first down there, I was a young bloke down this way. We both got James Jones, sorry, not James Jones, James Jones. For a tumble boy, we went age grade together. He went to Carmarthen Quins then. Good, solid, hard, tough boy. I'm not really sure. He had a few years at the Quins, and I'm not sure he picked up in the end, but he played that much after. But he was a real solid player. Love Rheon. I think Rheon's a cracking little player. Probably let him down his size. Probably again, he's a little bit too little, probably to go a bit higher with as an up there. But his work rate and his skill level is outstanding. I think he's a great player. But I'm going for Mark Rees as we look at. Not the Mark started out because he couldn't hit the barn door, but but he did work and then he got it in the end. And so he was a player, Mark, wasn't he? Fair play to him.
But he was
a cracking player.
Yeah, he was a converted hooker, wasn't he? He was back row into the, as you said, he couldn't throw in at the beginning. I don't think he still can, but
he's a player all the defence and attack. He was a great player, Mark. I think he was unlucky not to have more game times with the Blues or Rheon. I think he was a great player, man.
Yeah. Happy, okay. The Boiler House.
The Boiler House. It's hard, isn't it? So, chucking Trigger in there.
Are you chucking Trigger in there?
I know we break his heart when I put it in there, but
you do a job anyway, that's for sure.
I'd break him. I'd love him to put him in there. The Boiler House, you had some great boys there. You had like sort of Dav when I first started, Dav Owen, Meredith, just tough boys there. You had Gitz, who was probably the best ruck inspector I've seen, but his work in the line-up was outstanding on opposition ball and our own ball. He was a great line-up forward. The top bloke too. Andrew Fisher, I think he was really unlucky. If he didn't break such a bad injury, I think he would have been hell of a player for Aberavon. He was going the right way. He ran all day, fit as hell, and he doggy. But he had a hell of an injury. Yeah, so he would have been. But for my second house, I'm going to go for Goon.
Yeah,
Love playing with Goon. If you could calm him down and better than stop him coming in from the side of a ruck, I think he would have been a hell of a player. He's a bit of a fan favourite down there when he got over the ball.
He's good.
And I had some great laughs with Goon as well. He used to make me laugh. So I'm going to go for Goon in the second row.
Happy days.
Assume, have I got to be in it?
You can put yourself in it. You don't have to be. You can name somebody else.
I'll go in there with Goon then.
Good man. Yeah, it's your team, but
I know. But the other one then is Sam. There, Sam's a good player too. He's good like forward.
To be fair, in the second rows that you would have played with, it was just literally you, and then and another counterpart, wasn't it? So get Sam or Goon. So
yeah, I'll go with Goon. I think Goon's a good player.
Yeah, it's good.
Sam and Gitz are similar players, and I don't think. Sam, both great line forwards. But I do think Sam offers a bit more as a carrier than Gitz, but I'll go myself and Goon in that. Happy
days, mate. Good. Okay, on to the back row.
Back row. You want it?
6, 7, 8.
6. When I first went there, you had Chris Kinsey.
Oh, yeah.
Great player. Again, took on his wing a bit, looked after me. He was really good, loads off him. Currently, you got Pennell in him. He's still putting a great shift in.
Yeah.
Tough bloke, hell of a tackler. Run into a brick wall time and time again. But it's only 1-6 for me, and that's got to be it's got to be Trigger. He was outstanding down there. Fair play to him. He was a hell of a player, tough as nails. Again, his carrying, his tackling, he was outstanding. It just the way he inspired players well around him, what he would do on the field, where he flying to tackles and stuff.
He's ridiculously strong, freakishly strong.
Yeah, and if he didn't have that built-in scrum cap, and he would be nailed on now for all the concussion protocol and that. Just lucky he had that. He had that scrum cap built in, and he so.
True.
Just hard as nails. It's a hell of a player, and how much he progressed, like from when he was in youth to when he was when he played the years in Aberavon and stuff, was ridiculous. He couldn't catch the ball. He was a hell of a player in Aberavon.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, without a doubt. But yeah, Trigger at blind side and your open side.
Would be again, and his when I started Andy Thomas, he was a great player. He went to the Queen's End for years, and he was a tough, great player. You got JTR, who's outstanding.
Yeah.
Again, what he can, his tackling, his just general pain in the ass as a 7 was. He's a top player, but because you told me I got to argue in a side swank and with the message, I would go through it. Great player, proper player. Don't mind getting stuck in. Love the short arm, but a genuine footballer as well. As he has, you played in the 7s and stuff like that. You were a proper footballer, but what I liked about it, you didn't mind going up the likes of cross keys and stuff again. And the deep with his stuff as well.
Thank you.
So after you were 7, and then my 8 is only 1-8 for me, and that's George. Especially when I first went down there, and for those first, I don't know, so many seasons, he was just an absolute beast.
Yeah.
He was an absolute beast. Come to the end, I think a lot of the younger boys never seen the proper George. I mean, I think he was playing in with carrying his knees and seeing what everyone age catches up with everyone, and then I think he was the player he was, and I think that's quite. I think the boys never really seen what he could really do. Like he still had his strength, but if the boys want to tackle him when he was young, when he was in his prime, he was just hitting flying for fun. Like, he was a hell of a number 8 there.
I remember my early days at the club, and then it was a running joke which I didn't know about at the time. He'd turn up, wouldn't he, about midway into pre-season when contact would start or something like that. Yeah. And I obviously just overhearing conversations about, he's big carrier and stuff like that. So I flew at him one day to try and tackle him, to put all my might. And he is like a, I got bowled over, but he's like a brick, like so solid, and he doesn't do any weights, does he? So he says.
Well, I don't think he ever did weights. He was on the call run for years, and he's telling me, and like 50 kilo sack of coal in his arm and stuff. But that's just ridiculous. He was a beast. The amount of shoulders I've seen him pop out in training as well, like when he's holding a shield.
That's
and when I first went down there, he was brutal, wasn't he? Like, I mean, and I have that little stubborn thing in my head, and I'll go with George, and it's like stupid. Like, why? No wonder I'm wrecked. But also, and a top bloke. I got a lot of time for George. He's a top bloke.
That's a quality starting 15. Probably there's one or two. It's probably what I would have wrote down if I was to name Butters starting 15. There's a couple of in there that I wouldn't have guessed, but that's quality. I wanted to touch on something as well before I go into my last 3 questions. Was obviously the Barbarians. A couple of you boys were lucky to get some Barbarians time. George gets Carter, I think Breezy at the time, Jamie, and yourself as well. So, not me. And I remember. Correct me if I'm wrong, but didn't one game you got selected? You got one game got called off or something? Or was it?
We got to the playoffs we did. And
that's it, yeah.
I think the game would have been on a Wednesday, and we had Leslie on the Saturday. So we knocked on it and played against Leslie, which we didn't know because we got Dick down there. So
well, again, going back to that though, you must be secretly a bit absolutely gutted because who knows when those opportunities will come again, So I would have been tampered, but what were you feeling like?
Yeah, it was tough, innit? But I was carrying a niggle at the time as well, I think when you were playing up. And Aberavon had to come first, innit? That was my club. That's my loyalty was to win, and I had to come first, innit? And I don't think it's about lovely getting recognition and stuff in it, but it's about the team mostly in there, about the club and stuff. So just one of those things, pick it up and get on with it. But obviously, stood at like 50 minutes in the Llanelli game when we were like 50 points down or whatever it was. Like, shit, I could have had a good time away on Wednesday. But it is what it is, and Aberavon come through.
Well, you ended up anyway playing for the Barbarians. That must have been amazing. Like, it must have, well, maybe you tell me at the pinnacle of not your career maybe, but achievement wise. And I think I'm part of that.
Yeah, it's a hell of a thing to do. It's a hell of an experience. I loved it up there. But for me, it's not a downside. I loved it. I loved the night out after. It was great. It was great meeting the new players. But for me, I always preferred being you should come for blanket in with your mates, in with your proper mates.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Do you mean? It was that sort of thing. You're like a new boy in school up there, and no one knows each other really. You meet, introduce, which is fine and it's good. But I always felt better with my mates. I mean, I enjoyed it more with my mates that we had in Aberavon through our years. We went through a spell where we were all early to late 20s, where we had a cracking squad, a cracking team spirit there, and for me that was probably my best time, from just that team spirit, the enjoyment we had off the field as well. What was our laughing joke a lot of time was that we were a pub team, and we were like a village pub team like for years, and not a bad pub team but we just had a cracking laugh all the time as well.
Yeah, that might lead me into one of my first of my three questions. Was the first one is, if you could nail down one memory of Aberavon, your time at Aberavon, what would it be? What would be the highlight of your career in Aberavon? If you could nail it down, I know it's a difficult thing to do, or maybe you could share a couple of highlights really for you.
Highlight. Beating Neath was always a great highlight, especially on our Boxing Day when you know was your last one. I loved that. But I think it was the experience best, especially when before any of us had the kids and real responsibilities. We had a great laugh those years, and I absolutely loved it. Those and as it coming to the end, got a different sort of different. I don't know. Feeling with the new younger boys coming up, because they're going out like Gages, people like that, they're going out and stuff, and they're going, come on, old man, come on, pipe, like kids are going, oh, you never come out, you're boring, and like, well, it changes, doesn't it? But
I know.
Probably my best times were 7, 8 years where we were all together, 20 sort of thing, and I loved that time.
Yeah, fair enough. Second question, if there was one person or a team that you were most I get nervous about playing against, who would that be? It could be a team or an individual you choose. Somebody or a team you think, oh, do you know, it's going to be a tough one, or he's a bit of a pain in the ass, or...
Like I said, really, I never really thought about it. I was just giving rugby to the guy I was playing against. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's not like... probably toughest opponent, I would always say US Evans. He was like fit as fiddle, strong, naturally strong, and he just go all game in here, and I had some good tussles with him, but never nervous before it. Just look quite forward to it, really, innit? But so never sort of like nervous for a game. I just always something. Why be nervous for somebody who loves doing it? So I wouldn't say that sort of thing, no. But I mean, I'm a nice way, not being a dickhead sort of way. Like.
Yeah, I mean, were you both front of the line out forwards as well? Yeah. Was he? I know you. Was he?
Yeah. Yeah.
But that was horrible, wasn't it? Not for me. And the last one, if you could relive your time at Aberavon again, would you change anything? And if you would, what would that be? If you could do it differently again, what would that be?
I loved it, mate. The only thing I would probably have said that would have been the icing on the cake if we won that cup final or we won the final game or our last game, probably. That's one I probably would have picked. But I loved it, mate. A couple more final appearances, still losing in the semis all the time would have been nice. But it is what it is, and I absolutely loved it. The club's absolutely brilliant. Loved my time down there, from Andrew down to Steve, Maid, and everyone. It's just a brilliant run club, and it's like well looked after.
Yeah,
Earlier, my kids have always been looked after. It's just been an amazing experience. I loved it.
Right, that's it. Thank you so much. Thanks for your time. Hopefully see you soon down the club for a pint.
That'd be great, that. That'd be great. A bit of a luck, mate.